This reptile is one of the most common pets, and its name comes from its unique appearance. Its skin displays spots very similar to those of a leopard, but it has a characteristic that sets it apart from other geckos. It has movable eyelids, which help lubricate its eyes. This may be due to its place of origin, the deserts, since it evolved this way to prevent sand from entering its eyes when it sticks out its tongue and licks its eyeballs, unlike other gecko species. This peculiarity places them in their own genus, the Eublephaриdae, which consists of 27 species characterized by having eyelids and feet not adapted to climbing steep surfaces. They originate from the semi-desert regions of the Middle East, ranging from Iran and Pakistan to India, and possibly along the borders with Afghanistan, although sightings there have not been confirmed. It is essential to consider their natural habitat when acquiring one as a pet, as this influences the conditions their new captive home must have. They're among the largest geckos. Adult males can measure up to 9.4 inches, while females reach around 8.3 inches. They have a robust body and a large, triangular-shaped head with a pointed snout. Their coloration varies between white, yellow, and purple, but they always feature black spots forming unique patterns on each individual. These spots can merge, especially on the head, giving them an appearance similar to a leopard's fur, which helps them camouflage in their natural environment. The belly ranges from white to beige, and their tail is cylindrical, large, and fleshy, functioning as a nutrient reservoir. The larger the tail, the more fat it stores, allowing one to determine if the gecko is overweight or undernourished. Ideally, the tail should be proportional to the body size. Like some reptiles, they can detach their tail as a defense mechanism against predators. If someone grabs them by the tail, they will easily let it go, so they should always be handled by the body and never by the tail. The tail has a bright color to attract the attention of predators. When caught, the lizard contracts its muscles with such force that it breaks the vertebra, allowing it to escape. Although effective, this self-amputation is painful and can become a potential source of infection, so it should never be provoked deliberately. After detachment, the tail can continue moving for up to 30 minutes due to its nerve endings, which does not mean the gecko remains alive in that part. Fortunately, this amputation is not permanent, as geckos can regenerate their tail through a slow process that may take up to 60 days. However, this ability is exclusive to the tail. Any other lost appendage will not regenerate, making proper care of the pet essential. They have 5 toes on each foot, ending in sharp claws, and their eyes feature slit-shaped pupils. If there were a contest for the most peculiar eyes in the animal kingdom, geckos would hold a prominent spot. They are carnivores and insectivores. In the wild, they primarily feed on insects like crickets, but they can also consume small rodents, frogs, birds, and even snakes and other lizards, occasionally displaying cannibalistic behavior. As they grow, their diet becomes less selective, which is an important factor to consider when keeping one as a pet, especially if housed with other individuals. In captivity, their diet is mainly insect-based, which can lead to nutritional deficiencies, particularly in calcium, essential for their growth and shedding of scales. Ideally, they should be offered a varied diet that includes other foods such as small reptiles or amphibians. When hunting, they rely on both sight and smell, which they detect through their nose or tongue. Upon locating their prey, they approach slowly before launching a quick attack, capturing it in a single bite and swallowing it whole without chewing. This vertebrate exhibits social behaviors, living in colonies composed of individuals of different ages and sexes. However, males are somewhat territorial, especially in spring when the breeding season begins. Therefore, it is not advisable to keep 2 males in the same habitat, as they may fight each other, particularly in the presence of females. Their reproduction in the wild remains a mystery, but it is well studied in captivity. Females enter the male's territory, approach them, and the courtship begins, involving licking, gentle biting of the female, and tail shaking like a rattlesnake. If the female accepts, mating occurs. Afterward, between 10 to 20 days later, the female selects a moist area protected from rain and sun to lay her eggs. She can lay up to 16 eggs and repeat this process 4 to 6 times per year. noting that this happens under controlled climatic conditions in captivity. Incubation lasts approximately 1 month. The temperature determines the sex of most hatchlings, between 77 degrees Fahrenheit and 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Most will be female, between 86 degrees Fahrenheit and 91.4 degrees Fahrenheit. They will be male, with an ideal humidity level between 80% and 90%. Exceeding 90% humidity should be avoided to prevent fungal growth on the eggs. To distinguish males from females, observe the cloaca. If there are protrusions near it, the gecko is male. If not, it is female. In the wild, they have some predators such as the saw-scaled viper, the red fox, and birds like the dusky owl. In captivity, caution is needed with dogs, cats, and ferrets, as they may eat them. If you have a leopard gecko and another pet, it is best not to leave them together unsupervised to avoid unpleasant surprises. Their conservation status is classified as least concern. They are mainly used as pets, although in some places they may be consumed. There is a superstition that they are venomous, but this is false. For their care, essential elements are needed. First, an appropriate space. At a minimum, it should be large enough for the gecko to turn around without injuring itself or performing too many maneuvers. A space of at least 16 in superscript 2 is recommended, increasing in size if there are more geckos. The substrate should be sandy and cleaned weekly. To do this, you should collect the waste, sift it, wash it with only water, and leave it out in the sun for an afternoon, which helps facilitate cleaning. Chlorine or other disinfectants should not be used, as they could harm the gecko. A thorough cleaning of the environment should be done every 2 months. During this time, chlorine could be used to wash the walls, allowing it to sit for about 2 or 3 hours to ensure cleanliness. This also includes the water dish and food dish, which should always have supplies that are easily accessible. The food should be healthy, which can be verified by checking that the insects are not sluggish, do not have strange spots, and are not arriving in large numbers dead. This is crucial to prevent the gecko from getting sick. Additionally, it needs a house to serve as a refuge. A constant temperature should be maintained throughout the day, between 79 degrees Fahrenheit and 86 degrees Fahrenheit, and during the night it should not drop below 68 degrees Fahrenheit. The humidity should not exceed 20%, which can be achieved with a heat mat or an infrared bulb. It is important to constantly measure the temperature and humidity to avoid sudden fluctuations. These care instructions are essential because geckos are ectothermic animals, meaning their body temperature depends on the surrounding environment. They should bask in the sun daily to support their development, either naturally, by placing them near a window with sunlight, or through a UV light bulb. This species requires a lot of care. If all conditions are not met, the chances of them dying are very high. Remember, they are animals from semi-desert environments, so we must replicate those conditions to ensure they have a good quality of life and grow healthy and strong. If you notice lethargy or any unusual behavior, don't ignore it and take them to your trusted veterinarian. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, please give it a like and share it so more people can discover this channel. Thank you very much for watching this video. See you later.